Welcome back to the AEC video series on navigating AEC. First of all, let's get back to AEC Central by going to Components, Account Expiration Control. In this video, we're going to actually be covering payment plans and related functionality. Not in depth, but just an overview of them. If you click on Plans, this will present you with a listing of all of the plans that you have in your system currently. You can click on any one of the names of the plans to open that plan for editing, or you can actually put a check mark in front of it and then click on the Edit button to bring that one up. This one didn't have a name, so let's just give it a name. And then we'll hit Save. And now we can see that it has a name. But what you're going to see here is a general overview of the payment plans with the name, the description, if any, to the first 50 characters, whether it is published or visible. You can actually reorder the plans from here, how many subscribers are in each plan, how many are expired, and then the total, which is subscribers plus expired. In here, we'll be going into depth in adding plans into the system. But to add a new plan, all you would do is just hit New, fill out all the information in there, and then hit Save and Apply. But this is going to be a new plan. And just to give you an idea, we'll go New Plan. Okay, it's going to be free. It's going to be lifetime. And then we'll just hit Assign it to the root group. And then we'll just hit Save. And then we'll see the new plan that comes up here in the system itself. The next thing that is in this area of payment plans and related functionality is groups. Groups are a way of grouping your actual plans into different areas, so it will actually make your plans page a little bit easier to navigate, or if you have like one MI that you'd like to attach to 20 different plans and it's the same MI, you can use the groups to apply that. And we'll be covering that in depth. But basically, when you add a new group, what you're going to do is go New, and then you're going to actually make it visible, for example, and then we're just going to put in here New Group 5. We can give it any name that we want. Reveal child items usually set to no. Symlink use set to no, but we'll cover this quite in depth. And then basically, after you've done all this and gotten everything into here, what you want to do is hit Apply. And you're going to notice here, after you hit Apply under the groups, we have to give it a parent group. So let's make the parent group root so that any plans in this group will show up in the plans page. Then we'll hit Apply again. And then we'll hit Save. And we can see now that we have our new group into the system. Going back once again to AEC Central, the next one is micro integrators. Now we'll be doing quite an in-depth one on micro integrators. But then the main thing to remember here is when you create a new micro integrator, is you're going to choose the actual function that you want. And let's say, for example, in this one, it's going to be the tax helper. And then we'll hit Apply. It'll give it a default name and description that you can change any way that you want. And then on the actual settings, there's going to be a bunch of settings for the actual MI itself. But once you create an MI, okay, and it's actually, MI stands for micro integrations, you actually have to tell it when to be fired. So go to your plans page and pick any plan that you want that micro integrator fired on, and then click on the micro integration tab in there, and then tell it yes or no that you want this one actually triggered on that plan. And then we hit Save. And then we come back to AEC Central. The next one in here is View Invoices. It actually gives you a listing of the invoices by the username, the invoice number, a secondary identification, if there's one in there for the processor, the created date, the transaction date, what plan they're on, coupons if they used any, the payment method, the amount, and the currency. Now, as you can see in here, if I click on the username in here, it's going to actually take me to that particular user to take a look at an in-depth overview of the subscriber themselves on the subscription screen for them. If I click on invoice, it's going to actually bring up the printed invoice that user will see in the front end. And if I click on the plan or the coupon, it will actually bring up that particular plan or coupon so I can look at the details to that one also. The next icon in this is coupon and static coupons. They are very, very similar, but we'll be covering those both in depth in another video. But we'll just take a look at static coupons for right now. And basically what you do is you hit new, and then you can create an actual coupon itself. We'll call this test coupon. You can give it any name that you want here. AEC automatically generates a random code, but remember, no spaces, no special characters, and it is case sensitive. We'll just call this one test 10. And then you have to actually say whether you want to use an amount. Just real quickly, because we'll be going to this in depth in another video, we'll say we're going to have it for $10, and it is to be used on the full payment, just the very first full one. You're going to notice down here that there's date and user restrictions for it. And by default, it always uses a start date, doesn't use an expiration date, doesn't totally restrict all the reuses of it, but it does restrict the reuse per user one time. So we'll hit save. And if you're deciding that you're going to use coupons, one thing you have to make sure of is in your settings, that you've actually enabled the coupons. And we'll say yes there, and then hit save. And this way, on the checkout screen, they'll actually get a little box that asking them for the coupon code so they can apply it to their actual invoice itself. That basically covers this area of AEC Central and navigating through the payment plans and related functionality. Thank you very much.